The looming analogue switch-off deadline is set to be challenged in the Gauteng High Court in Pretoria on numerous grounds, including that it will breach a promise made by government, the decision was taken without rational consultation, and that government is nowhere near completing its process of rolling out set-top boxes to all who need and have been promised them before the 31st of March 2025. Media Monitoring Africa Director William Bird explained the adverse impact that would follow during the previous extension of the deadline to March 2025, following a decade of extensions.
This is about an ongoing and collective inability to make sure that the poor and indigents actually have access to television. What we know is that 28.5% of South African audiences still rely exclusively on free-to-air services in order to access television. So had they gone ahead with this decision, you would have had that entire group of people, it's around 4.5 million households, cut off from television entirely. And that would have been completely unacceptable because, of course, these are the poorest of the poorest.
The process through which the broadcast of television is migrated from the original analog technology to digital technologies and frequency signals is known as digital migration, or broadcast digital migration. The end of the digital migration process is analog switch-off, when South Africa ceases all analog television broadcasting. When this occurs, the ETVs, the SABCs, and numerous community broadcasters' current allocation of the necessary analog frequency spectrum for analog broadcasting will come to an end. If this proceeds as scheduled, the SABC's Group CEO, Nomsa Chabedi, has already warned that this transition will cut off 4 million households without access to satellite platforms or set-top boxes, which will severely impact the public broadcaster's sustainability.
The SABC, even though it's a public broadcaster, if you look at the public mandate, it's self-funded. It's not funded by government. And therefore, the minute you impact the ability of the SABC to deliver to audiences and audiences to be available to advertisers, which is where the revenue comes in, it means that immediately you are compromising the public mandate. And therefore, if we look at, in terms of the analysis that we've done, we still have about 4.4 million households that are not part of any satellite platform, etc., that have not received their set-top boxes. Therefore, it means that if it does go ahead on the 31st of March, we're in a situation where the SABC is about to lose 27% of their audiences, and that immediately translates into revenue losses.
The applicant, ETV, seeks to review and set aside the 31st of March 2025 as a final analog switch-off date, and seeks to refer the determination of a new date to the Minister of Communications and Digital Technologies for determination and gazetting. Kani Mapanga, SABC News, Johannesburg.